So what you just heard was the newest single from JULESISDEAD, Spells and Power Thoughts, and I'm extremely lucky enough to be speaking with them today. Jules, how are you? Thanks so much for joining me on here.
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Congratulations on the new single. I've been addicted to it since it came out. It's so
Thank
great.
you so much.
Oh my God. What's been your favorite thing that you've put out so far if you had to choose out of the three?
I think my favorite was My Own Hell because I got to do a full music video for that one, and the whole experience of filming it was really fun.
Yeah, I saw you worked with Kyle Black, and for whoever doesn't know, he's worked with crazy acts like Pierce the Veil and State Champs and stuff. So do you mind me asking what that experience was like?
It was a little bit nerve-wracking. He's so good at what he does. And I think it was about my third time down to LA that I worked with him, and we wrote the song with Killboy. And it was just really fun working with him because he's so knowledgeable and instantly knew the vision I had and was so right there with me. And it was a great experience working with him.
That's fantastic. I could hear a lot of his influence in that track and stuff. It's fantastic.
Oh, definitely.
It's so cool. What's it like being a legit recording artist in LA now?
Honestly, I don't even have the words to describe it. It's so crazy because majority of the time I'm in Barrie, Ontario.
Yeah.
I am in high school. I work at Shoppers Drug Mart.
Oh, sweet.
This is about 20% of my life is interviews and recording and writing. And it's it's a little bit hard to balance, but it's so fulfilling and rewarding. And it's so crazy that it's happening this fast.
Has it been weird adjusting to this kind of so many eyes being on you and stuff like that?
It has, yeah. It feels like a lot of pressure sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
But it's I feel like being an artist is about finding your people. And I think I've been doing a really good job of that. And I feel like I do my best to interact with everyone who supports me. And we always have stuff in common, whether it's bands or movies that we like. So I think I've surrounded myself with a good group of supporters.
If you can remember, so no worries if it was too far away, but what originally got you into heavy music in general? Did somebody introduce you to it, or did you stumble across it on your own, or
Okay, so the COVID lockdown had just hit. This is me painting a picture because this is a whole story.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So COVID had just hit. I was in 8th grade. Mm-hmm. I had maybe played acoustic guitar for 2 months. I wasn't that great at it. And I remembered that my dad had the video games Rock Band.
Oh, sweet.
And that they were in our basement. So I made him bring them up for me so I could try them.
Yeah.
And that introduced me to ASI, which is now my favorite band.
Oh,
and
sweet.
Paramore.
Yeah.
And Fall Out Boy and Coheed and Cambria. And it kind of opened the floodgates. And it's the only reason I listen to the music I do and the only reason I ever thought about buying an electric guitar and learning it. So.
Oh, sweet. No, that's so great. I've spoken to a few people about this, and COVID has been a big factor in a lot of people's starting to listen to heavier music and stuff. I think that's just so cool. That's so great.
Definitely, yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah.
Especially with its resurgence on social media happening around the same time.
Oh my God, yeah.
Great.
But yeah, so I mentioned, this piece is on women and feminism and rock and metal. So being not only a feminine presenting individual, but also a non-binary person of color, have you ever felt unwelcome in this particular scene of music? Have you ever faced any obstacles so far that the run-of-the-mill pop punk middle-aged white guy probably hasn't?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
I used to do live streams on my main account on TikTok almost every single day, which is how I gained an audience. Yeah. And I'd sit down and I'd just play guitar with what people requested.
Absolutely.
And I had to end those lives, partially because I got banned on TikTok, but also because I was getting so much racism and hate speech in the comment sections, simply for playing guitar. And I felt so unwelcome in the punk scene.
Oh, God.
And yeah, that definitely was a big factor, and it made me really uncomfortable on social media and in the scene in general for a while. And I'm lucky enough to have met people in the industry like Tag and Atlantic who really welcomed me there. And like, obviously Gabe Saporta he has a huge influence on the scene. So having like him welcome me into the scene and being a huge supporter of me and my executive producer is like, it's really helped a lot. And I definitely feel more accepted like now than I did a year ago.
Oh, that's really great to hear. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. I feel like POC bands and like queer bands and feminine bands are like kind of growing over the last few years. I'm seeing like a lot more of them in mainstream media. I don't know if that's because I just wasn't onto like emo news in the like before the last 3 years, but I see a lot of bands that like make me feel represented in the scene, and I love it so much.
Absolutely, and you're becoming one of those, or you'll be a representation for younger audiences and stuff. I know,
that's so crazy. That's like that's the thing that like makes me all teary and like emotional.
That's so exciting. That's really crazy, and I feel like it's really important to have more younger queer like people of just minorities in general that aren't just the like middle-aged white guy in like the spotlight and stuff. Absolutely, especially in such a scene that preaches inclusivity, and then you don't really see it as much as you'd like to in the scene.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. But yeah, that's so exciting. Do you have any more plans for like the near future of releasing anything else, or are you just gonna chill with Spells and Power Thoughts for a little while, or what's your plan?
We're trucking along all through 2024. We have a bunch of singles queued up, being finished. I have a huge recording trip in February. And
sweet. Fantastic.
Getting a bunch of tracks done. So hopefully everyone will get to hear them so soon, because I'm so excited to get them out.
Absolutely. Oh my God. I'm so excited to hear what comes next from you. Thanks so much, Jules, for joining me on here, and everybody listening. Make sure you go check out, they're on Spotify, they're on Apple Music, they're on TikTok, they're on all the things. So go check out Jules is Dead for sure.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been amazing.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for coming on.
Push me over.